Welcome, and Counts here for Paper Sweeties. Today we're going to create this mini slimline card called Hey You. So let's go to products we use. I'm going to use the new stamp set, Gather, and the Hey There stamp set. The new set has the words Gather, Welcome, Repeat, Girl Boss, Thank You, and rest. We're going to just use the You from that. From the Hey There, we're going to use our little cow and the sentiment Hey There. I have my little cow here, which I've colored with C1 and a little R30. We have some strips of green cardstock that we're going to use for our grass, some pattern paper from Doodlebug, our heavyweight card base, which is 110 pounds, which is 3 by 6, and our sentiment strip, which is a piece of white cardstock, and that's what we're going to start off with now. I went ahead and cut this down, and I even fishtailed one end. I'm trying to make sure that my sentiment will fit nicely how I want it. So I'm just going to fiddle with it for a little bit. Once I get more or less where I want it, I want to make sure that the Hey There will work how I want. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in my VersaFine Onyx black ink, and I'm going to ink up my stamp that says You. I'm going to stamp that onto our fishtail banner here. Putting the U closest to the little fishtail area. Stamp that nice on there. I'm going to remove that stamp, and I'm going to bring in the Hey There stamp set. Then I'm going to use some Post-it tape, and I'm going to mask off the part that says There. Then I'm going to ink up my stamp. Then I'll remove my Post-it, and then you can see the word There isn't inked up, just the Hey part. And I'm going to line that up and stamp it. So now we have our sentiment that reads, Hey You. So this is basically like a hello card. Okay, so now let's bring in the rest of the components for our card. I'm going to layer these two pieces of green cardstock. So I'm going to use a little Barely Art glue. And these are left over from a previous project, and I figured why not use them for grass. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer them up, so that the darker ones in the background. This creates some dimension to our card. So I'm going to quickly adhere those two strips together, and then I'll trim off any extra that's here, that's left over. I'm just holding it on next to the card panel. But I'm going to stack these because I want them to look like fuller, like our cows in a little meadow, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that these panels are adhered, and they are. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere the top one first, just tucking it behind the bottom one, straighten it out a bit. Not that it really matters because it's grass, but just wanted to keep it a little straight. And then I'll adhere this little one here using some foam adhesive, so we can have a little dimension, and we can tuck our little cow in behind it. Alright, so I'm going to fluff up the little area here. I realized I need a little adhesive here, and I'm sorry, I'm creating on a piece of white cardstock because I was getting too much glare on my desk, and now the white cardstock is moving everywhere and it's driving me crazy. Alright, so let me line this up. Once I have that all lined up, I will tuck our little cow behind it, just trimming off any excess because we don't want any overhang. So there's our little cow. I have some foam adhesive on our little cow as well. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the backing off all that foam adhesive. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is my least favorite part of creating, is removing the back of foam adhesive. I just have a hard time with it, so that's why it's not my favorite part. Alright, so once I get my little cow tucked in here how I want it, there he is, all nestled. I know where I'm going to put my sentiment, which is right up here. And I'm going to put some foam tabs on the back of that. See, now I don't like removing the foam backing to the foam tabs, but I do like some dimension. So, there you go. Catch-22. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, figure out exactly where I want it. I need a little bit more, because I want it to be nice and firm. I'm going to remove the backing off of that. And then I'll adhere our sentiment to our card panel. Try to make sure it's straight. Once I know it's on there straight, I will press it down, and then I will remove any excess from our panel. So I'll cut off that extra white right there. So now I'm going to adhere this card panel to my card base. And I've trimmed this so that I have a nice little border all the way around our card front here. I want some of that little white there coming through. Let me see if I can get it centered. Okay, so once I have this on here centered, all right, so now our card is basically complete. I'm just applying some more pressure. And at this point, if you want, you can add embellishments or not. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glitter embellishments really quickly here and call it done. Just putting some right there by the sentiment. So again, we used our gather sentiment strip and the Hey There stamp set. Our little cow and our Hey There, which we masked off, and our gather, we used the U here, which is a wonderful sentiment stamps. A little Doodlebug paper to add to the cuteness. So thank you so much. I hope you found some inspiration. Don't forget to hop along with the rest of the design team for more fun cards.